Guarantees upholstery.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. The studio just got so much brighter, and not because the sun came out, but because we've got some lovely people in the studio right now. Vanessa, Leigh, Hoffman, you've been with us before, so it's good to see you again. But you have not introduced us before to your daughter and your mom. So
No, I have
you
not.
have an entourage today. Let me turn this on. Now, if you're looking at the video feed, there's only one other person, and that is Lydia. Lydia Hoffman, am I right?
Yes.
That's mom. That's and Steffi is here behind me. I think she's playing with Robin's computer.
Of course, all the time.
Vanessa, you are an author. You have also an amazing story of surviving cancer. It says 30 plus years cancer free.
Yes, now it's 35 plus years
Wow.
now. Yeah,
Wow. Well, good for
Yeah.
you.
Thank
You're a
you.
singer and a songwriter,
that's it.
a speaker, a language teacher.
Yes.
What language do you teach?
I taught for many years Spanish to elementary on up through college. And then I took on the role of teaching French and then German and English.
Really?
Yes.
And you speak all those languages?
I did at one time.
Wow.
I still do speak Spanish, but the French and the German especially is hard
Oh,
to
wow.
remember because nobody in
Nobody
Florida speaks
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
much.
yeah. And let's see, what else does it say here about you? You are a food and wine consultant?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. You were a Miss Tennessee contestant?
I was third runner-up.
Third runner-up.
A team,
Well, I can
yeah.
see it. I can see it. You're real pretty.
Thank you.
And you play basketball and softball. Wait a minute. I predicted you were tall. Are you tall?
5'6".
5'6". That's
just or medium,
average for a
yeah,
woman, right?
Right.
And softball as well. So you are very active. And Lydia, has she always been active? Has she always been active?
What?
Has Vanessa always been active, like sports-wise?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
And she
always
was-
a
and
runner. I
she
was
was
a
a
runner for quite a long time
Really?
too. Yeah.
And so you've written the book called, today we're talking about this one book called Treasure, right?
Yes.
So we'll find out about that. Domestic Ransom was the other one, and Steffi knew about that one.
Right. It's coming out next month. Yes.
So your life has thrown you a lot of unexpected curveballs.
Yeah, early on in my life,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah.
Not so much now?
No, not since when I turned 20. Everything was just going up, sky high.
Okay. And where do you live?
St. Petersburg.
St. Pete. Okay. So you drove up here.
I did.
Well, good for you. Well, thank you for coming up to be
You're
with us in the
welcome.
studio. It's always nice to have somebody in the studio.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. You got
Yeah.
a great looking studio here.
We do. We
Yes.
do. And we thank the Martones for doing that. Those are the owners of the station. So tell me about the new book, and then we'll talk about everything else. Tell
Okay.
me about Treasure.
Treasure. That one has been out. You know, it came out last year.
Right.
The new book's coming out this year.
Oh, this is not the new one.
Oh, no, the new one is not out yet.
Oh, the new one is called Domestic Ransom.
Yes,
okay.
it is.
Okay, I'm
and
sorry.
that will be out. That will be in the Chicago Book Fest.
Oh,
too.
and that's the one you gave me the
Book
print,
Expo, rather.
printed
Yes.
information on.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm following you now.
Yeah, they're printing it as we speak.
Is it a sequel to Treasure?
It is not.
It
It's
is not.
completely different. It's a real psychological thriller involving a manic depressive husband who ends up just taking his wife for everything she's worth, which is just a medium amount, but he thinks that she's very rich for some reason.
Oh.
She ends up totally broke. I don't want to give everything away, but
Really?
he's building her house in the meantime that she's invested all the money. And he's not a licensed contractor, so they can't get a regular mortgage company. So it's all in his hands, and he's basically destroying her future.
Wow. So he has no idea. He's married to her, but he has no idea how much money she has.
Well, no, he just won't believe that she doesn't have the money that he thinks that she
Wow.
has. That she's just fooling him all the time.
And anything from real life that this stems from?
A lot of people that I've known and some people that I've even dated.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, it could have been that. I don't want to get into that too much.
They
but,
thought you had more money than you did?
Yeah. A lot of people have thought that. And I'm saying, no, I'm not the one. And I said, you never know who has the money and who doesn't. Some people can be dressed just shabbily, and they have more money than anybody in the world. Exactly. And then somebody might be dressed up to the hilt and have nothing. So.
Absolutely. I'm sure we've all seen people who we thought were richer than they are, and people who we thought were not as rich as they are.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So does that intrigue you, that whole idea of I don't know, being a secret identity with as far as money goes?
No, it's just she's such a good girl, and I don't want to give too much away, but she's just naive because she was born into a rather opulent family, but they lost everything in the meantime. And anyway, what really becomes of her husband is he's a drug addict.
Oh boy! Okay.
So that's what really spawns all the mental and physical abuse too. So there's a lot of psychological elements in this book.
Okay.
But throughout your history and everything, you've had meetings with famous people that we have read about in the news that have had addictions and things like that.
Yes. And I think I told you last interview that I did meet many people in the music business, rock and roll stars.
Right, yes.
Yeah,
you
and
sure did.
actually, and I didn't tell you, and I haven't told many people this, but my very first love was Robin Zander of Cheap Trick.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
oh, wow. Tell me about that.
Well, I ended up, he was nice enough to try to help our band, and he was just a very, very gentleman.
I want you to want me, that guy?
Yeah.
Did he want you to want him?
Well, at that time he was divorced, and I don't think he was dating anybody, and so
how'd you meet him? Were you in the audience?
Well, I actually was on a break, and we decided to go. I went to see him the night before, and I fell in love with him on stage.
Oh, really?
Never thought that I'd ever get to meet him. So
are you a fan? You had the fan fascination.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
No.
I just said, man, I was just in love. That
How
has
close
never
were you?
happened
How
to me.
close were you to the stage?
10 rows away.
Oh, that's close enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I was with my boyfriend who was from Sweden. He was
Oh.
a Swedish exchange student. He was very good looking too. He was on the homecoming court and everything. Very nice guy.
Right.
But I was just obsessed with Robin Zander. So the next day, I was in Hello Dolly, a musical at Germantown High School, and then the Hyatt Regency was not too far away, and I just wanted to drive around the parking lot, and maybe because I thought that's where the band was saying, maybe
Right.
get an autograph.
Right. Okay.
And
okay.
I had a song out at that time too with a DJ that was very popular in Memphis called Disco Shoes.
Okay.
So I had it with him, and I wanted to give him a copy.
Okay,
and
I got
see
you.
if there's any way that he could
Help you with your
you
career.
never know.
Okay, right.
So we went around and didn't find him. Then all of a sudden, I said, let's just go back. It's time to go back. The break's over with.
Right,
Get
right,
back
right.
to the musical. So at that moment, I saw this long blonde hair jogging into the front door. I said, oh, my. And then that's what happened. When we got out of the car, we raced up there, got his autograph, and then I gave him the tape
Right,
of my
right.
song, and then he said, well, how would you girls like to be my guest for lunch?
Okay.
Downstairs.
Right.
And we said, sure.
How many of you were there?
There were two
or
of
just
us.
you and
yeah.
somebody else? Okay.
We were both in the musical. So needless to say, we got back late and we were in trouble. But it didn't matter because it was just so nice. And he invited us to go to Pine Bluff if we had a chance. And I said, yeah, I'd have to take my mother. I can't drive. I'm only 17.
And what is Pine Bluff? What is that?
Pine Bluff, Arkansas, because that's where they
okay.
were playing.
Okay.
And that was close to Memphis because I was in Memphis. That's where I'm
Okay.
from. And so we ended up going there. And then he said, well, if you ever get out this way, come see me, maybe with your band's tape, because I was telling him all about our tapes. So we ended up going up to Pittsburgh because that's where all my relatives live, and they were there playing. And so my cousin, my mother, and I, we all went to a high school reunion that
Wow.
they wanted to bust. The whole band wanted to intrude on somebody's high school reunion.
Oh, wow.
So we had a lot of interesting times.
Wow,
but
wow.
yeah, the last time he just looked at me and I said we were having lunch at a restaurant, local restaurant in Memphis, and I said, You know, I've always been in love with you. I fell in love with you at first sight. I don't
Nice.
know. I never say
Oh,
things
my
like that.
goodness.
I could not believe it.
Well, let us hang for a little bit on that one. We have to take a little break. We've got weather and more, a couple of commercial announcements, but more with Vanessa, Leigh Hoffman on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Some sunshine this Thursday with a shower or thunderstorm in the area this afternoon, high 81 to 85. Thursday night will be mostly cloudy with a shower or thunderstorm, low 65 to 69. On Good Friday, clouds and breaks of sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around, especially in the afternoon at the coast, the high 81 to 85. Saturday, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 79 to 83. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
We're saving thousands with Robert Palmer.
So rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around. If you're trying to get a mortgage, if you're trying to get the best credit card, if you're looking at student loans, cell phone bills, you name it, rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around.
That's rule number one, just one more vital part of fighting back to stop being a financial zombie. Yes, you can take the mystery out of the complicated world of finances. Take charge when it comes to your money. Listen in on The Source, 96.3 FM and 1370 AM, Saturdays at 12:05.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
The most trusted name in news, Fox News, every half hour, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
WOCA.
All right, 18 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Vanessa, Leigh Hoffman is in the studio. We're learning a lot about Vanessa and interesting stories about her past. And she's here to promote her newest book, which is called Domestic Ransom. It is a new novel. Is it out yet or not quite yet?
In April.
In April.
Yes.
So it's exciting for you right now,
It's
right?
very exciting. It's being published as we speak.
So is this, when you were a singer, were you a recording artist also? Or?
Yes, I recorded demo tapes mostly. I was trying to get a contract, and I also there was as I told you earlier, there was a disc jockey, a famous one in Memphis, with FM 100 was this radio station, and he wrote a song called Disco Shoes, and the Barkays were even on it. And we recorded that actually whenever ZZ Top was in the studio next door, which was
nice.
really neat, doing the what was it, the Sharp Dressed Man, and everything, the big album they had.
Right.
And so that was fun. Got to talk to and meet Billy Gibbons, and he's a great guy. But anyway, this was scheduled to be released and signed with this label. It's a smaller label, but then all of a sudden the writer, the disc jockey, he didn't want to have this into the hands of this record company.
Oh,
so
really? Okay.
it all went
Okay.
negative. And then the radio station wanted to use the song as their theme song.
Oh,
He wouldn't
okay.
do it.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't give it to them. So another band, which is a very good band, they got the opportunity to record for this radio station. They ended up becoming a kind of a big hit and being on MTV. So I just had some kind of bad breaks, but it was just interesting.
But it seems like things are working out for you as an author.
They are.
Yeah. So that's exciting for you
Yes,
now, right?
very exciting.
Right. And when you have music in your bones, does that mean movies are also in your bones?
I want to do that so bad I can't even tell you how
Because
bad.
the storyline of what we know so far from Domestic Ransom sounds like it could be a movie.
Definitely, and I've always said definitely at least on what is the
One of the networks? or-
Lifetime.
Okay,
You
right,
know,
right.
for sure.
A made-for-TV movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's a current topic of what a lot of women, even men, are going through with their spouses.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that is true. There are people who get married for the money.
Yeah.
But in your case, I mean, the main person in the story, the woman, what's her name again?
Vicky.
She's kind of naive.
She's naive because she came from a well-to-do family at that time, made a lot of money through advertising, and but they lost it. So anyway, she didn't have that much of an inheritance. She just kind of saved her money by herself, and she just had maybe at one time maybe $100,000. That was it, and she used a lot of that to get into this house. And then he, of course, got into his drug addiction even more so, and
That's crazy.
alcohol, and the money went bye-bye.
Did you see any of that in your music days? I mean, did you see people abusing drugs and alcohol?
I did, but like I was telling you before about the long spiel about Robin, a lot of the people that I met were pretty good. Good. They weren't like addicts. They were smart, and I didn't see a lot of that going on. Maybe they just didn't want to do it in front of me. But I met like Point Blank. They were great friends of mine. I told you ZZ Top, and many others. But I didn't really get to see all that. Now, as far as whenever I was doing the music myself with my bands, they would do it every once in a while. Marijuana.
Oh, okay.
You were treated by St. Jude's, so a portion of your proceeds are going to St. Jude's.
Yes, they are.
Oh, tell us about that. How did you get involved with that?
With what?
With your involvement with St. Jude's?
Well, I was enrolled there, you might say, when I was 15. That was my home away from home. I went there,
really?
Yeah, I went there once a week for a year and a half. For treatments, actually, then first off, I went for radiation for 4 weeks, then 4 weeks off, then 4 weeks another time.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I had to have a tutor at school. I couldn't go to school during that time. And then during the interim, we had a 4-week break, went to Aruba, because my father won a trip there, and he didn't want to fly, so he said, just take a friend of yours, so we all got to go down there. So that kind of helped me get through this ordeal of the radiation. Then we came back, I started the chemo for a year and a half, and I had a lot of friends that didn't make it from the hospital.
So it sounds like a lot of experiences, it's a very short interview, but you're giving us a lot of information. That the question I have based on all that is, did it end up as part of the book, or did it in some way maybe make your writing more colorful?
All of my
Everything you've gone
episodes, I've always, and it just comes out. I have a lot of things that are stored in my mind, and if I have that feeling that I have to start writing, and I don't really know why or what I'm going to write, it just starts coming out. I don't know. Then I know, Vanessa, it's time for you to sit down and write, because that's always whenever my best works are.
How long does it normally take to write a book? Is it a whole year or not quite?
I'd say maybe for like a 200-page book, maybe 6 months.
6 months, okay. And so, and as a singer, you were also a songwriter, right? I know you said somebody else wrote the one song. Okay. So is there any of your writing as a songwriter that maybe helped you when you started writing books?
Everything, yes, everything. Because of all the lyrics, the storyline, and then of course I wrote the chording. And the chording, believe it or not, has to go with the words. Otherwise, it doesn't make a good song.
Yeah, right.
And just like the theme, and the wording that you use has to fit the theme. of a book.
Yeah, sure.
So-
Sure, but with a song, typically you can tell a story in a very short form.
Yes.
In a book, you have to give more details.
Yeah.
And
And like in this book, Treasure was more of a more plot-oriented reading. But in Domestic Ransom, it's more of the psychology of the characters. So it goes more in depth of the characters' lives and their past.
Very cool. All right, and so where do you go from here? Do you continue with either of the protagonists, the one in Treasure or the one in Domestic Ransom? Will we see those characters again?
Well, I don't think so now,
No?
but you never know. The next one is going to be this protagonist over here, Steffi. That's going to be
Steffi.
my first nonfiction book.
You're going to write about Steffi?
Yes, it's going to be out next year. Steffi and Mommy.
Now tell the audience about Steffi. She's in the studio. She's charming us for sure. Let me put the camera on her. Tell us about Steffi.
Steffi,
She's helping Robin right now.
you want to look at the camera?
Oh, wait.
Okay,
doesn't.
she doesn't. All right. Well, Steffi came from Bulgaria, and I brought her into the States in the year 2012. I went to go first see her in 2011 in Razgrad, Bulgaria. That's where she was in an orphanage there.
Wow.
And so that's going to be, the book's going to entail everything about her life before, as I know it, and during her days at the orphanage.
Well, tell us a little bit right now. What was her life like before? Was she in harm's way?
Well, this orphanage, thank goodness, we have a social psychologist that meets you there and tries to bond together.
Right.
And so she told me, I'll tell you in just one second. The minute though, we didn't need any bonding. The minute that they brought her into the door, she came over and she just planted a big wet one right on my lips.
Oh,
and
no.
it was over from that point. I knew that we were going to be together.
Yeah.
But no, they tend to bring a psychologist in there because sometimes it's hard for both to blend in with each other.
How old is Steffi?
How old is she now?
Yeah.
She's 9 years. 9 years old.
9. You're 9?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If I am 9, I'm good in 3rd grade.
Yeah, she's in 3rd grade.
Wow, good for you.
And
I want to listen to that studio now.
but she came over here when she was 5, and that was in 2012.
I do wanna listen
and I actually put in my request for her in 2010. And I waited about a year and a half.
Really? And
Yes.
and during that whole time she was in an orphanage?
Yes, she was. And luckily,
Why was she in an orphanage? What happened?
because just the from the pregnancy, they
Let it
just
do it again.
the lady, the mama brought her in.
Okay.
That one.
She just couldn't take
Didn't
care of her,
want it.
and she did.
I want
She,
them
so
to hear
luckily, she wasn't aborted.
And forgive me for not remembering because I think
that's
you
okay.
told us last time. But do you know the biological?
I don't.
No.
And the funny thing is that she looks just like my
that again.
grandmother when she was her age.
Isn't that something?
See, we're Bulgarian.
Oh, okay.
So, and we have a long heredity there, so we don't know.
Oh, isn't that something?
It's very interesting.
Wow.
And
What a fascinating story you shared with us, Vanessa.
Do it again.
Can I, let's see, tell the audience how to get the book? Do you have a website?
I do. It's www. I'll spell the name, Vanessa, Vanessa, Leigh, Leigh, Hoffman, Hoffman.
Okay.
.com.
And who's the handsome man with you in the picture? Is that your husband?
Yes, it is.
And what's his name?
Joe.
Joe.
Yes.
Your daddy's name is Joe?
Cicero.
Oh, Joe Cicero. Oh. Yeah. We get the last name. Well, you are a delight. Thank you so much for coming in, as always. Good luck on everything. And I know it was a long drive for you, so please be careful going back.
Do that again.
Thank you. Not too bad. It was 89 miles of beautiful countryside and a great day.
Again.
It
Oh,
is
there you go.
gorgeous.
There you
It
go.
is
That's a nice
absolutely
way of
gorgeous.
looking at
Again, I want to hear
it.
it.
Lydia, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Now,
it again.
give me your full name.
My name is Larry Whitler, and this is Robin
Whitler?
McBlain. Whitler,
Hi.
And this whole interview, I should say, was
Do it again.
made onto a video. You'll be able to watch it later on. It'll be there by 2:00. Did we sent you the last one, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right. So it'll be the same.
What is this?
That's another microphone.
Again.
There we
Whoa. It's noisy in your headset when you touch the microphones. Again, thank you, Vanessa, Leigh Hoffman, Lydia Hoffman, and Steffi.
Yeah.
Keep doing good in school, okay?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to say hi to anybody before we say goodbye? You want to say hi?
Yeah.
In the,
You want to say hi to Aunt Jen?
you want to say it on my microphone?
Yeah.
All right, come here.
Hi, Aunt Claudine.
Say hi to somebody. Just say hi.
Hi, Aunt Claudine. I'll do it in the speaker.
Yeah, do it real quick.
One other.
Hi.
Hi, Aunt Claudine.
Hi, Claudine.
Hey,
Hi, Aunt Jen.
Hi, Aunt Jen.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie.
And Lila.
And Lila.
Okay.
Just whisper in my ear.
Thank you.
Thank you so
ladies.
much.
All right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back, okay?
With me.
All right, we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. We're getting more details on warnings that the Belgian government had concerning airport attacks.